There is no finish line. Those words stopped me in my tracks the other day. I was at Nike headquarters, which is a tremendous honor, and I was leading a breathwork and piano session for their mindfulness day. And as I was walking through the campus, I saw in large letters the words that say, "There is no finish line." It's a simple phrase, but it really resonated with me. So much so that I actually used it in the breathwork and piano session. But it got me thinking about our obsession with endpoints, with the idea that we are all racing towards some grand final destination, be it graduation or a marriage or that dream job or maybe retirement. We fixate on these finish lines, convinced that once we cross them, we'll have finally, quote unquote, made it. But what if the most important things in life aren't meant to be completed, but just continually experienced? What if the real magic is embracing the joy, the growth, and the meaning throughout the journey itself? It reminds me of this quote from the poet Rainer Maria Rilke: "The only journey is the one within." I'm going to say that again. The only journey is the one within. Our lives aren't 100-meter dashes. They're winding, they're uncharted adventures of the soul. And just like any long-distance runner will tell you, pacing yourself is everything. Pausing to catch your breath, to rest and recover, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a really important part of the process. So today, I want to explore what it means to honor the sacredness of rest. My friend Ariana Huffington, she talks about this non-stop. And honestly, if there's something you're going to emphasize, this is a good one. But exploring what it means to honor rest, right? And the wisdom of just circling back to the insights that light our way of where we are now. So with that being said, lace up your Nikes, or whatever you choose to wear. You'll generally find me wearing a pair of Converse at any moment of the day. But take a deep breath, and let's hit this road of rest together. I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. So first, I want to talk about the hustle culture. Such a term that we are all so familiar with, right? I mean, it's this idea that our worth is measured by how much we can crank out. And so many of us have bought into the myth that grinding ourselves into the ground is not only necessary, but even admirable, right? I mean, we glorify the 80-hour work week. We applaud people for sacrificing their well-being on the altar of productivity. Social media, it's flooded with quotes like "sleep is for the weak" or "you have the same number of hours in a day as Beyonce," right? I mean, the message, if you're not constantly moving and striving and achieving, well, you're weak. You're falling behind. And here's the thing. Even the most incredible athletes, or even Beyonce herself, know that rest is non-negotiable if you want to perform at your peak. A runner doesn't train by pounding pavement 24/7. That is a one-way ticket to Burnout City. No, their training is finely tuned, right? It's a mix of workouts and cross-training and nutrition and, yes, you guessed it, days of rest. Science even tells us that it is during rest that our muscles actually repair themselves, coming back stronger than before. Well, the same is true of our minds. The same is true of our spirits. Because when we're caught in the dizzying pace of doing, It's easy to lose touch with our deepest wells of creativity and our deepest insight. But when we give ourselves permission to just simply be, to stare out the window, to take a long bath, or just wander aimlessly through the park, that's often when inspiration strikes. In moments of stillness, we create space for our intuition to bubble up, right? For fresh ideas to materialize. And rest is a portal to our inner wisdom. So, what does honoring rest look like in a culture that is addicted to achievement? Well, it starts with giving yourself permission to press pause. Maybe that means setting firm work-life boundaries, right? Saying no to commitments that don't really light you up, or deliberately carving out pockets of unstructured time in your week. And it can look like validating your own need for play, right? Your own pleasure, your own self-care, filling your own cup so you can show up fully in life. Because here's the thing. Resting doesn't have to mean becoming one with your couch, although no shame if that's what you're looking for. It's about intentionally choosing activities that replenish your energy rather than draining it. I'm going to say that again. It is about intentionally choosing activities that replenish your energy rather than draining it. For some folks, that might mean taking a delicious nap, which I just did before recording this, or getting lost in a page turner, or watching trashy TV. For others, active forms of rest like gentle yoga or fishing or just puttering around in the garden, well, that's the ticket, right? But tuning into what makes you feel peaceful, what makes you feel grounded, and just lights you up inside. Then, unapologetically claiming time for those things. I said that slowly, intentionally. Unapologetically claiming time for those things. And speaking of finding some calm, I want to share with you something that I'm actually a big user of, so much so that I did a collaboration with them. Have you ever checked out Endel? It is the game-changing app that creates personalized soundscapes to help you sleep, to help you relax and focus. I've been using it myself, and I am blown away how it blends into my daily routines so effortlessly. So much so that I've actually done a number of albums with them. You can look for You Finally Knew, Endel Sleep Edition, or Breathe as well. The soundscapes, they adapt to your environment, to your mood, and even to your body's natural rhythms, creating this soothing cocoon of sound that shelters you from the chaos of the outside world. It's like having a science-backed superpower in your pocket. Plus, they're really amazing people. They're just beautiful. But what I love is that Endel's sounds work their magic behind the scenes. Unlike music, they never yank your attention away from what you're doing. And check this out. Studies show Endel can boost your focus by 7 times and keep you in the zone for 95% of your listening time. That's amazing. I mean, as someone who's looking for ways to drop into flow more consistently, this is huge. So if you're craving a simple way to tune out the noise and tune into what matters, Endel has you covered. They are hooking you up with an exclusive 7-day free trial. Just click the link in the show notes or head to endel.io to claim. That's endel.io. Try Endel for free and experience the power of personalized soundscapes to elevate your focus, your relaxation, and your sleep. Trust me, your mind and body will thank you. Now, getting back to this. As crucial as rest is, it's just one piece of the puzzle. You can't put everything on rest because there's another biggie, And that's circling back to the insights and lessons and practices that keep us anchored in what matters most. Well, what do you mean? Well, it's tempting, to be honest, to get seduced by the shiny allure of the next big thing, the next episode, the hot new productivity hack or spiritual practice that promises to change everything. And look, I am all for staying curious and trying new tools on for size, for sure. But there's some really deep wisdom in regularly revisiting the ideas that have already rocked our world and then recommitting to weaving them more deeply into our lives. And that's actually the driving force behind my upcoming Summer Shorts series that I will be doing this summer. Typically, the podcast takes a hiatus during summer. Last year, I re-aired previous episodes. But this summer, I'm going to be doing what I'm calling Summer Shorts. Because as we head into a season that's all about slowing down and savoring the simple things, it felt right to hit pause on churning out new episodes. Now, I didn't want to leave the summer just barren and not give you anything new or anything fresh, but I thought it'd be a good idea to hit pause and to revisit some ideas of previous episodes. So we're going to spend our time together sipping on bite-sized nuggets of wisdom from earlier episodes, dusting off those gems and holding them up to the light. Because here's the thing. Over the last 4 seasons, I've covered some seriously juicy terrain. 165 episodes. Yes, 165 episodes worth of insights and practices to support you on your path. But I want to emphasize something. Intellectual understanding is not the same as embodied wisdom. I'm going to say that again. Intellectual understanding is not the same as embodied wisdom. You can't just passively soak up ideas and expect your life to transform. Real growth means actively wrestling with new concepts, trying them on and fumbling through the awkward stage and slowly integrating them into your day to day. That is what real growth is. It's a process of taking the insights into your head and letting them sink all the way down into your bones. So here's my challenge to you. As we roll into these summer shorts, don't just let these ideas drift in one ear and out the other. I ask that you really chew on them. You sit with the questions that they stir up, and you ask yourself, when have I heard this before? And how did it land with me then? And how does it speak to me now? What sensations or emotions does this concept spark within myself? And then even asking, how might my life look different if I really took this to heart? Pick one idea that resonates and consciously play with it for a week. Journal about it, talk about it with a friend, or take it for a test drive. But notice what shifts when you move from passive listening to really actively engaging. And also, I want you to remember that repetition, it is the mother of mastery. There's no shame in circling back to familiar themes or familiar ideas or practices. In fact, it's often by returning to the fundamentals again and again that we experience the deepest transformation. Each time we revisit an insight, we spiral into new layers of understanding and embodiment. It's like the old Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The basics are the basics for a reason. There is profound beauty in the everyday practice of showing up for your growth. And as we wind down our time together, season 4, oh my goodness, I want to circle back to where we started. And that phrase from the very beginning, there is no finish line. It's not meant to be a downer or a suggestion that striving is pointless. Instead, I see it as a powerful reminder that growth is an ongoing journey. It's not a destination. The richest rewards in life, the wisdom and love and creativity and even impact, those are not boxes that we check off, but practices that we commit to again and again, breath by breath, choice by choice. So as we step into this season of savoring, I want to honor your journey, every twist and turn that's brought you to this moment. Honor your commitment to learning and to growing, to shining a light in the hidden corners of your inner world. Honor the times that you've paused to catch your breath and integrate hard-won lessons, and the times that you've bravely ventured into the unknown. Honor the way that you have refused to get caught up in the rush of racing through your precious days, and instead you claimed your rights to unfold at your own pace. There is no finish line, my friends. Only the sacred invitation to keep showing up to each moment with an open heart and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Give yourself permission to rest when your soul craves quiet, to retreat, to recharge and replenish your reserves. Have the humility to circle back to the practices and the perspectives you've known in your bones all along. Let go of perfectionism and embrace the perfection of your messy, miraculous process. My deepest wish for you in the coming months is that you savor this part of the journey with the same sense of wonder and playfulness that you'd bring to a summer road trip. Blast the radio, roll down the windows, and feel the wind in your hair. And stop often to drink in the views and to gather some wildflowers and just sit in the moment. When night falls, stretch out on the hood of the car and watch the stars come out, and then drift off to sleep dreaming of the adventures to come. Because guess what? You are already winning. You are already whole. Did you hear that? You are already whole. And this winding road that you're traveling, it's leading you home to yourself. One beautiful and perfect, utterly human mile at a time. And I have to be honest, and I mean this sincerely, I am beyond grateful to be your companion on your journey. It is truly a highlight of my life. And so before we go our separate ways, let's take a moment to take a simple inhale and simple exhale together. Inhale deeply and picturing golden sunlight filling every cell of your being. And then exhale completely, letting go of anything that is weighing you down. Breathe in peace. Breathe out trust. Breathe in gratitude. Breathe out contentment. Let this breath be a reminder that you are equipped with everything you need to navigate each moment with grace. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing your presence and your open mind to this conversation. And as we step into these summer shorts starting next week, I'm excited to meander down memory lane together and rediscovering the gems that just might cast the road ahead in a whole new light. So until then, remember to rest with the same devotion that you bring to rising up. Embrace the sacredness of your one-of-a-kind unfolding. You're doing great. And I am in your corner every step of the way. So be good to yourself. I'm rooting for you. Let's see what new sights await us on this road ahead with these summer shorts. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. Wear lots of sunscreen, drink lots of water, and as always, be kind to your mind. Join me again as we calm it down. To find more episodes of Calm It Down, see where I may be appearing in your area, or just simply want to know where to send me some chocolate chip cookies, visit calmitdownpodcast.com. This podcast was written and produced by yours truly, Chad Lawson, composer, pianist, and nationally recognized Sweet Tooth. The views, expressions, and techniques in this episode are of my personal opinion and not intended, nor should they, serve as a substitute for medical advice or diagnosis rendered to you by your individual doctor or other healthcare provider. Only a licensed physician should evaluate your situation, provide a diagnosis, or render other medical advice to you, and you should only act upon the advice of this physician. Now, I'm an extreme empath by nature, but my profession is that of a composer and pianist, not a licensed therapist or physician. I hear from thousands of listeners how my music has helped them through various stages of emotional needs, and I simply want to offer this in future podcast episodes to aid those needs. So to find a list of licensed professionals in your area, please visit calmitdownpodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. While it takes less than 60 seconds to do, its impact will last for years to come, as every little bit helps in growing the awareness and the importance of mental and emotional health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down.